What is up, Pokemon fans? Professor Audrey here for Hollow Legacy. And today for Deck Tech Thursday, we are doing a bit of a different deck. You know, who needs to do stuff like attack and do damage and take prize cards? Today, we are going to be profiling Wugtrio Mill. Now, this deck is a pretty fun deck that can use a lot of the comeback mechanics and some recent additions from Black Bolt and White Flare to mill your opponent out very quick and really be a disruptor to their plan. A lot of decks don't really run a ton of recovery, and it becomes a big issue whenever you're milling 6 to 9 cards a turn. So in this deck, we are going to start off with the Pokemon. And for that, we have 4 copies of Wiglet. This Wiglet is just the art that we had today. We had this deck come up pretty quick, so we did not get our copy. In my opinion, the ideal Wiglet would be the one that allows you to prevent damage if you flip a coin, but this one, in a pinch, is also really good. 4 Wiglet, maximum copies, so you can get out all of your cards very, very fast. Even as a basic Pokemon, Lucky Find is a really good attack. But ultimately, it is just a card to get into 4 copies of Wugtrio. Wugtrio has the attack Undersea Tunnel, where you flip 3 coins, and for each heads, discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. This card is very powerful. It can be used to disrupt your opponent. That possible 9-card mill is devastating for any of your opponents. It can completely mill the cards they need for their entire deck. It is a very, very powerful attack. So, how do you search for the cards in your deck? How do you have your draw engine? How do you function? Well, there's a couple of different ways, but the first one we are going to talk about is 3 copies of Dunsparce. Dunsparce is an amazing card. It allows you to have a free retreat pivot in this deck, as well as being able to be searched off of Buddy Poffin. It is really, really good, but is ultimately just the basic, so you can get into your 3 copies of Dunsparce. Dunsparce is an amazing Pokemon, colorless, with the ability Runaway Draw, where you draw 3 cards, and if you drew any cards in this way, shuffle this Pokemon and all attached cards into the deck. Dunsparce is a really good card for this deck because you can draw your cards and then shuffle it away so it doesn't get knocked out. It is both a draw engine and a way to put cards back into your deck. Next up on Pokemon, 1 copy of Toedscool. Toedscool is really just here to be a basic. For our next Pokemon, 1 copy of Toedscool. Toedscool has the ability Slime Mold Colony. Cards in your opponent's discard pile can be put into the hand by an effect of your opponent's abilities or trainer cards. Toedscool and Toedscool are very good into matchups like Goldango or even potentially Raging Bolt, where they want to put cards from the discard into their hand to attack. If they're running Chien-Pao in the year of our Lord 2025, you can use it for Chien-Pao, but the main use case right now is Goldango, which has seen an upsurge since Black Bolt and White Flare's release. Last card for the Pokemon is 1 copy of Fanrotom. Fanrotom has the ability Fan Call, which allows you to search for 3 colorless Pokemon with 100 HP or less on your first turn and put them into your hand. This is mostly just to get your Dunsparce. You can definitely work this list around to be able to include more in there, but being able to get your Dunsparce set up off of 1 Buddy Poffin search is very, very good. Next up, we have our supporters, and we don't have a lot of them. We just have a couple here, but they are all very, very good. First up for our supporters, 4 copies of Hilda. Hilda is an amazing supporter card, allowing you to search for an evolution and an energy, and really made this deck function coming into the set. You can grab your Wugtrio and a reversal or ignition energy. You can grab the Dunsparce and ignition. You can grab many combinations of cards. And Hilda is ran in max copies to be able to search and get that maximum consistency. Next up, we have 2 copies of Arven. Arven is one of the best supporter cards in the game, allowing you to search for an item and a tool card. This has come into handy in certain situations. It's not the most used supporter. Ideally, you would use Hilda, but it happens where you need to use Arven. Finally, on supporters, we have 1 copy of Iono. Iono is just here for disruption. Again, with Goldango around and Dragapult around, sometimes your opponents will get really big hands, and having Iono will allow you to decrease their hand size and take away their outs. Next up, we have item cards. Item cards are one of the best cards in the game, allowing you to get some of your important pieces, and this deck runs quite a bit of them, just to be able to have that consistency. First up, 4 copies of Buddy Poffin. Buddy Poffin is one of the best cards in the game, allowing you to search for 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less, putting them into your bench, and then shuffling your deck. This card is ran in max copies, so you can get that Fanrotom and a Wiglet, or really any combination of the basics in this deck. All of them are 70 HP or less, and it is very, very good. Next up, we have 4 copies of Pokegear. Pokegear allows you to look at the top 7 cards of your deck, revealing a supporter card you found there and putting it into your hand. This is to allow you to get those Hildas, it allows you to get the Arven. It is really a great card in the deck, even when you whiff. Being able to search your deck and get it shuffled is very, very good. Next up, 4 copies of Countercatcher. Countercatcher is an amazing card in this deck, and it also allows it to function against hyper-aggressive decks. Being able to shut them down and potentially lock them out of the game is really, really good. Being able to gust on an item is always good, is very, very powerful, and it is granted maximum copies. Next up for items, we have 2 copies of Palpat. Palpat is a great item, allowing you to shuffle 2 supporter cards from your discard into your deck. This allows you to be able to recoup some of your options and is very, very strong. Next up after that, we have 2 copies of Nestball. Nestball is a great card. This is also just additional search on top of Buddy Poffin if it's prized. It just allows you to be able to get 1, put it onto your bench. Next up we have 2 copies of Super Rod. Super Rod is just used, your opponent will knock you out most turns, and considering a lot of your lines are stage 1s, you need to be able to recover more than Night Stretcher can recover, and it is very, very good. It also allows you to recoup some of those resources late game and prevent you from losing your consistency. Speaking of Night Stretcher, we also run 2 of those. This is pretty good early game, or whenever you take a knockout and can combine it with Super Rod, being able to put that into your hand and immediately go to evolve a Wugtrio or evolve into Wugtrio is very, very good. Next up, we have 1 copy of Precious Trolley. Precious Trolley is really good. It just allows you to completely fill up your bench, get all of your Pokemon out and ready to use. Next up, 1 copy of Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball is a great card for this deck, being able to get any of your evolution Pokemon. This is great whenever you happen to whiff on your Hildas and you need to grab something off of Arven. This is there just for that. Finally, for our items, we have 1 copy of Tool Scrapper. Tool Scrapper is a great item, which allows you to remove the tools off of your opponent's Pokemon. This can be used in certain situations, especially with Air Balloon in format. Being able to get rid of your Air Balloon, then gust up a 2 retreat Pokemon is very, very powerful. Next up, we have our tools, and with that, we have 2 copies of Gravity Gemstone. Gravity Gemstone is really good. Being able to increase the retreat cost of yours and your opponent's active Pokemon by a colorless is really, really good. This also combines great with Countercatcher and Tool Scrapper to remove an Air Balloon and just increase the retreat, making it a very, very strong option. Next up, we have 1 copy of Handheld Fan. Handheld Fan is very good. Being able to send that 1 energy attached to one of your opponent's useless Pokemon can really disrupt them. This is really good against Dragapult decks running Neo Upper, or potentially even something like a Goldengo deck in combination with Toedscroll is very, very good. Next up, we have the stadiums. We have 2 copies of Pokemon League Headquarters. This allows you to increase the attack of each basic Pokemon in play by a colorless. This is really good against certain big basic decks like Raging Bolt and Miraidon. Being able to basically shut your opponent down early game and prevent them from getting attacks off can save you the game in the late game. It's very, very powerful. Last up for trainers, we have 1 copy of Artisan. Artisan is a great card, being able to search your deck for a basic Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box and put it onto your bench. It is great. It is also an additional stadium bump for this deck, which being able to bump stuff like Jamming Tower is vital. Lastly, for the energy, we have 4 copies of Ignition Energy. Ignition Energy applies 3 colorless energy to one of your active evolution Pokemon, but at the end of the turn it is discarded. Ignition Energy is really strong and allows this deck to thrive. It is one of the most powerful cards in this deck, and being able to grab that off of Hilda with a Wugtrio, being able to evolve, then attach the energy and attack all in 1 turn is extremely strong. Lastly for this deck, we have 3 copies of Reversal Energy. The combination of Ignition and Reversal allow you to have multiple 3 energy attachments on 1 card. It allows this deck to thrive. This is good in situations when they can't get an attack set up for multiple turns. You can use this instead of Ignition and just sit the Pokemon in the active and continuously mill away their deck. Now, that's the list. This list isn't perfect. I did get top 4 at a tournament recently with it. It is pretty fun and enjoyable to use. I definitely think you can increase the supporter counts, maybe cut down on the Buddy Poffin count just a little bit, or potentially even cut a Night Stretcher. This list wasn't originally built to have Neutralization Zone in it, but it just doesn't because I didn't have the ace spec on me at the time. You could also for sure add a Colress in this deck, Colress Tenacity. It's a really good card, but it just isn't one that I was wanting in the deck because there was somebody playing Trifrost in the room. So it just became a thing of I didn't have it for this list, and it was fine, but overall, you might want to add it depending on how often you can get those stadiums out. But that's the list. Thank you so much for watching. We will talk to you again soon. If you liked, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all so much. Have a great day. Bye bye.